Welcome to the Master Your Happy podcast. I am Robert Rio. Every episode, I am going to reveal techniques to help you live a happier, more motivated, more inspired life. I hope you can use these techniques in your everyday life. I hope you listen, I hope you subscribe, and I hope you rate and review every episode. And now let's get to this week's episode. Do you go through life on autopilot? Do you have hard-coded habits that you tend to follow each and every day? I mean, think about it. If there's a patch of open lawn at a corner, children are going to cut through that open patch, and the grass there soon becomes just dirt. When ancient people, they created paths walking from one place to another. That's how these paths were created. Horses, oxen, just everything going over this same area of grass and land just made these paths. And today, they're paved roads. We found these paths, made them paved roads. And basically, when we want to go somewhere, we just instinctively take these roads, these well-worn paths, to go to that place. We just instinctively, by habit, take the same way to go to this place. And it's the same with our brain if you think about it. The brain and the muscles. Anything that responds to commands in your body. When your neurons in your brain keep firing in a particular configuration, a path is created. If you think about it scientifically, and I don't like to get too scientific on this show, but a path is created, and it's just easier to go there for your neurons. When you keep doing that, it's how we learn to talk. It's how we learn to play guitar and paint. But it's also how we learn bad habits, like to smoke and overeat. You do things over and over. You practice them, or you do the same thing over and over and over. Your brain, these neurons fire in the same pattern, and it just becomes habit. And from the early days of man, we laid down these memory paths. We found out where things grew that were good to eat, where things grew that weren't so good to eat, that were dangerous. And the things that we found that were good to eat, we remembered. They gave us a nice reward. They gave us a shot of chemicals in the brain that satisfied our hunger. So we remembered that, and we kept traveling back there over and over and over to get food instead of where the bad stuff was that was dangerous to us. And this reward-based learning system, it's great for that type of thing, but it can so easily be hijacked to develop other bad habits. And it's like, I'm not going to call smoking a bad habit. I mean, yeah, smoking isn't great for you. I don't smoke personally, but you think about it. We're going to use that as an example in this entire episode. So, I mean, a habit. What triggers us? What cues this trigger or bad habit in our brain? So, here's a cue or trigger. You see the cool kids smoke. You smoke to be cool. You be seen as cool. You feel good. You lay down that feel-good memory and you want to do it again. It's a loop, people. It's a loop. It's all a habit loop. And once you lay down this loop, it takes us around and around and around. Seeing people smoke triggers you. And the immediate effect is your brain saying, oh, smoking, that's going to make me feel better. It's going to lessen the pain. And that urge or craving, it emerges in your body, and it just, you have to take an action to feed that craving, which means you're going to light up a cigarette. And you get that good feeling again, your reward. But you also start to see the world differently. Did you ever notice that when you get in this habit loop, you start to see the world differently? Smokers will realize that especially when they start to quit, they're going to see the world differently. It's what psychologists call increased salience. And what salience means is the fact that something now stands out so much more than something else in your world. And those people now wear, I'm going to call them smoke-colored glasses, instead of rose-colored glasses, smoke-colored glasses. So your life is going to be filled, your world's going to be filled with these perceived opportunities to smoke. So your habit is going to be reinforced, and the increased salience, it's going to be pointing you to more cues and more triggers that keep this habit loop going around and around and around. You're going to see more opportunities to smoke. You're going to see more gaps in your day. You're going to see more people smoking. You're going to notice more people smoking. You're going to notice more reasons to light up during the day. And I'm telling you, mindfulness can break this habit loop. And I'm going to tell you how. The habit loop is a way to try and make ourselves happy. This habit loop is a way to try to make ourselves happy by maximizing pleasure and avoiding pain. This is what we do to help ourselves maximize pleasure and avoid pain in our lives. And when we find a way that seems to do that for us, lots of these cues and triggers in life are going to become available to fuel that engine of that habit loop and keep it spinning around and around. And to a smoker, every gap in your day is another chance to light up and smoke. Every person you see with a pack of cigarettes is another chance to light up and smoke. Every time you go to a bar, every meal, morning, nighttime, is just another chance to light up and smoke. And it's not just in our brain. It's our whole mind and our whole body experiences and interprets these cues and triggers as pleasant or unpleasant. And when you feel this experience, and if it's unpleasant, you're more than likely going to feel either bored, you're anxious, you're stressed out, and your immediate urge is going to be to do something to make that unpleasant feeling go away. And in this case, it's going to be to light a cigarette and have a smoke, because that is going to make you feel better. It's going to take the pain away. And if it's pleasant, you're going to be feeling a buzz. You're going to be feeling everything else. You're going to want to keep that going. So what are you going to do? Light up a cigarette, because that's going to make you feel even better, right? So either way, that stimulus is going to make you light up a cigarette. Socializing with your friends at a bar. You're feeling good. You're feeling great. You're drinking. You're having a buzz. Why not light up a cigarette? It's going to make you feel even better. But mindful awareness is going to tell you to notice the urge and that possibility of not acting on it. You're going to think about it. You're going to think about it before you do it. You're going to feel that urge. You're going to notice it, and you're going to think about it. And you're going to realize that when you act on that urge, you feel a sense of relief. And it's less unpleasant, but you may also feel the shallowness of that action and how short-lived that pleasure may actually be. And mindful awareness is going to tell you that feeling is short-lived and shallow, and that you're trying to find new and different ways, new and different cues and triggers to smoke just to feel that rush, because the other ones just aren't working for you anymore. And mindful awareness is also going to tell you to look at those habits and navigate them differently to avoid these cues and triggers and suppress your reactions. It's going to allow you to lay down new memory paths and allow you to develop new habits around these cues and triggers. What it's going to do is help you step back each time these cues and triggers happen. And it's going to make you think about it. It's going to make you think about it and think about a new way. So use your mindfulness techniques of meditation. Use your mindfulness techniques of stepping back, thinking about it, getting in touch with your environment, senses, and think about what this reaction to your stimulus and your cues and triggers is actually going to make you feel like in the long term and not just the short term. And try to break this habit loop, or change the habit loop to something positive instead of something negative. Find something else that is going to make you feel good, or give you a positive reaction to this cue and trigger. Because that's what it's about, changing that memory path, changing that memory trail to something different. Let me know how that is helping you. Let me know if that helps you. Let me know how you're doing with that. It doesn't have to be smoking. It can be anything. But comment on this. Let me know how you're doing with any issue that you're having, and if you can use mindful awareness, and just let me know how you're doing with it. Can't believe we made it to the end of another great episode of Master Your Happy. Thank you so much for listening to the entire episode. Again, I am Robert Rio. Definitely check us out on all social media platforms at Master Your Happy. Visit our Facebook group, Master Your Happy, and our webpage, masteryourhappy.com. Check out everything that's new. Check out all of our articles, all of the podcast episodes, and catch up with us online.